Velia, with all of the success you've had here with implementing various industrial metaverse enabling technologies, you're not doing it just for the technology. There's business reasons you're solving, right?
Absolutely. For everything that we do, there is a business reason behind it. And it's not like technologies that we use with industrial metaverse suddenly address new problems that we didn't have before. So for us, all the use cases that we implement always has to somehow address making our processes better, helping our people, and solve problems sustainably and faster.
Now, I remember at CES, Cedric said, a lot of people think of the metaverse for somewhere to go escape reality.
Yeah.
At Siemens, you go to the industrial metaverse to solve the problems. What kind of problems did you solve here?
So first of all, it's always better to have more information upfront before you do something in the real world. So that's the classic digital twin story, right? The more you know upfront, the more you can validate and optimize, the better your real life processes will be. So that's the very first one. So we're escaping a little bit maybe into the virtual world just to make sure everything we do in the real world will be doing exactly what we want it to be in the end.
And by simulating all of that and trying out different options, I'm guessing that there's also a sustainability angle there as well, because you can do things better first time.
Oh, for sure. This, actually, if you talk about physical resources, because we're using digital twins for sample processes, etc., we can cut down on the actual physical resources that we need in order to kind of prepare a new production system and all around that. But also, simulation and the digital twins help us optimize our processes in operations so far that we know we're always in a resource efficient way of operating.
Now, many people will look at what you've done here as the art of the possible and, setting the pace.
Yeah.
What's next for you?
It's a difficult question, right? We're trying to keep pace. We have ongoing real projects that we need to facilitate, and we're constantly learning there as well. I think the main and the biggest thing that many people also in the industry will resonate with is we're working here in a brownfield environment. So we're working with legacy systems with established, data sources and all of this. So really making the vision come to life with having the digital twins and all the data that we need in one place, and maybe putting software-based automation and artificial intelligence on top of it. It's a process, and it's also something that we need to address carefully when it comes also to the architecture behind it. Because in the end, what we aim to create is a scalable framework that can last.
So going a long way towards the sustainable digital enterprise, right?
Yeah.
And as you say, it's a journey.
Yeah.
It's not, you're never, there's always going to be something new you can optimize, change, and new technologies.
Yeah.
Now, given the work you've been doing here over the past years, any particular challenge, technology that's fascinated you?
I think really seeing people often criticize the photorealistic aspect of it all, and I think in our last talk we talked about synthetic data and how there are actual real value use cases for photorealism. But if you go the extra mile and actually put all of your shop floor digital twin in a photorealistic environment, you really aren't unable anymore to really differentiate what you're seeing in real time versus the virtual thing. It's not always the most beneficial thing, but it's a kind of a mind-bending experience if you bring the two worlds as close together as possible, because you're really starting to, you need to orient yourself what you're looking at the moment and what's real, what's not.
Hey, and in some ways you're just getting started. Now, when I was here in July, the layout was completely different, right? And this is the living industrial metaverse. You change as you need, right?
Oh well. This part of it is the real world, which we need also in future. Target there is to have a more close connection so that those real world changes translate automatically into the digital world as well. So at the moment the process, okay, you plan and you validate virtually first, and then you'll do the changes in the real world, but obviously there's a bit of a delta there. One key part of this is actually all the stuff that we're doing and all the changes that we make in the real world that are also transferred back into the virtual world.
Hey, good stuff. I guess you'll be busy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.